Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blogtalk Radio.
Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Closer Encounters, the show where you, the listener, is also the guest. I am your host, Clarence Mitchell, coming to you live from somewhere in Minnesota. Closer Encounters is streaming live from Blogtalk Radio. We are also live on Facebook, YouTube, and Google Hangout. For all of our newest updates, check us out on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Closer Encounters Radio. Don't forget to like, follow, and share. Would you like to be a special guest on Closer Encounters? Or do you know somebody that would like to be a special guest on Closer Encounters? Then just shoot us an email at closerencounters.info@gmail.com. That's closerencounters.info@gmail.com. Have you ever witnessed a UFO? Or seen something that you just cannot explain? Or maybe you've had your very own closer encounter. You believe in the ancient alien theory? We talk about this and much, much more. If you have a story, or maybe a question that you would like to get answered, give us a call. The number here is 347-989-1008. Again, the number 347-989-1008. Give us a call here at Closer Encounters. I'd love to talk to you. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Closer Encounters Live here on Blogtalk Radio, and we are also live on Facebook. Of course, you know this is the show where you, the listener, is also the guest. Should be an interesting night tonight. I didn't know for sure what we should actually do as far as a show, and so I thought, you know, why not just have people come in, give us a call or get on the chat, whatever. And, you know, if they have questions that, you know, they may want to be answered or whatever, now is the time for them to, you know, put them out there. So, pretty cool. We got a few callers already here with us. Of course, tonight we have Tim and Omar, and looks like John's back with us. So, let's get these guys booted up here. Hello, Omar. How are you, sir?
Good, man. How are you?
Good, good. How's your day? Yes, sounds really good.
Yeah, right on.
Cool.
Not much, just, you know, regular Sunday. Eating ice cream, watching TV.
No doubt.
Smoking some weed and watching some Star Trek, and I'm just looking for stuff, man.
Going to places no man's gone before.
Someday. Yeah, well, I guess somebody's already doing that.
Cool.
Somebody's doing that.
Awesome. Let's bring Tim up here with us here. We got Tim. Hello, Mr. Collard. How are you, sir?
Greetings and salutations, all my brothers and sisters. How y'all doing tonight, man?
Good, good. Another Sunday,
Right on.
right?
Right on. Yeah.
Another Sunday. Cool. I think we also have your, I think this is your grandson, but I'm not sure. I got a double number here for him. He's
Johnny?
Yeah, it looks like he's called in twice. I don't know what the deal is here. I hope one is not his tablet, but we'll find out. Let me grab the first one here. Hello, Johnny, is that you? Ooh, I got music.
Oh.
Okay, let me try the other number.
Got his own elevator music.
Yeah. Hello, Johnny, you with us?
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me now? Yeah. Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I got your number up here twice, and when we went to answer the first one, we got elevator music.
Really?
Yeah. Here, let me.
I don't know what happened.
Hang on. There it is. Can you hear it?
There we go.
I guess you're going to hang up that one, dude. I don't know where. I'll twice, I guess.
Okay, I'll just hang it up and we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's you. That's weird. Wow.
That is weird. I told him you stop.
Oh boy. So anyway, here we are, Sunday night. Another night before I go back to work in the morning. Yay, 12-hour shifts.
Oh, man.
Yeah, gotta love them.
Sean government spy.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you never know. Bug the face, bug you really quick.
That's funny.
What piece of equipment do you operate, Clarence?
Well, they call it a shovel. Some people call it a backwards backhoe or whatever. It's about 20 stories tall. Actually, I run a couple of 3 different ones out there, but the one that I stay on most of the time is called a Cat 660. If you ever Google it, it's one of the biggest.
I know what that is.
Yeah, it's a big twin-cylinder diesel. What's that?
Yeah.
It's a Cat 660.
Yeah, Cat 660.
Nice.
Yeah. And it holds about 60 ton per bucket.
Wow.
It gives you any idea. Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of the bigger shovels that you can operate. A hydraulic shovel.
Right,
It's
hydraulic.
Like the biggest hydraulic shovel there is.
Pretty much.
One of the biggest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a neat piece of equipment, man.
Yeah, sure is.
Those big, any big thing like that, the 980 Cat front end loader. I ran one of those, and we had it set up to where we had an interchangeable front end on it. We could change out, we could put forks on it.
Sure.
And I would load smashed cars. I worked in a metal recycling place, and we chewed up cars. You know, they go through there, and I got to operate that 980 Cat.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, we used a couple of them down there too.
That's nowhere near the size of the one you operate. That one you got is huge, man.
Yeah.
Really, guys, you need to go Google it up just to see the picture of it, because it's amazing how big this thing is.
Yeah, it's like sitting on the second floor of your second-story house, you know. Yeah, the cab's about 20 foot in the air. Yeah.
Well, you load the dump trucks, don't you?
Yes.
Isn't that what you do?
Yeah. We have ukes there.
How many scoops? How many scoops does it take to load one of those dump trucks?
Depending on the material and the weight, of course, and stuff like that. Normally about 4 scoops with that shovel. Yeah. Yeah. I can get around 250 ton, 260, somewhere right around there in 4 scoops, so that's not bad. Yeah. So.
Big boys' toys.
That's it. And that's the thing, that's why they got us pushing so much for this steel, because, that's what that's what we work is taconite, and they melt that down and they put it into a slurry. And they make iron pellets out of it, and then they sell it to the companies, and then they make steel or whatever. They make their steel products out of it. So, but yeah.
The song that Edmund Fitzgerald talks about that. Loaded with 24,000 tons. Loaded with more than 24,000 tons.
Yeah.
She weighed empty.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
she
the
was calling
pellets.
the steel ore pellets. Yeah.
Yep. What's ironic about that is that's Lake Superior they're talking about, which is the same lake that we haul our pellets across. So who knows? Maybe the Edmund Fitzgerald had our pellets. Good possibility.
Very well could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she hit it. You know, in the song it says that she hit it out of some dell in Wisconsin.
Right.
Out of the dells in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Never know.
Any one of those, any one of those loading ports there where you guys load up them ships.
Cool. I want to shout out the people there in the chat there on the live feed. I see Colin's with us. Hello, Colin. Pretty cool. Kevin's in there with us. Kevin Cummings, Perry Dario. Hello, dear. How are you? Sean Howtruth's in there. Of course, we got Gail there with us. Who else we have here? Sherry Balney. Yeah, Sherry's with us. Cool. Yeah, we got a good group there.
Howdy, y'all.
Got a good group.
Big
Jody
shout out to
Jody
y'all.
Fish, Balding. Yeah, Jody's with us.
Yeah.
Cool.
Uh-huh.
Wow, awesome.
Well,
Awesome.
I sure enjoyed the show last night. You know, we had it going on, man. It was definitely good vibes, good people. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Omar, you're amazing, dude. You really are. You blow me away, man.
He's full of knowledge, isn't he?
You and Sid, and Clarence,
Yeah.
you guys, it's pretty neat being able to meet people with the same frequency response. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like we understand each other. You know, in a different way. You know?
Right.
And that's the thing that you cannot be. It can't be denied. It can't be tricked. It can't be bamboozled or anything else. You know, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very thankful for it.
Right.
You know, I'm thankful for that. And anyhow,
Cool.
we can, you know, whether we continue on the same conversations as we had last night, or whether we go on to other topics.
Right. Well, the thing tonight is it's kind of, I mean, you know, we can go with whatever we want, but mainly I put this up tonight for people to ask their questions in the chat, or they can call us here. And of course, you don't have the number. It's 347-989-1008, and you can call in and talk to us here live. Or you can just post your question in the chat there on Facebook, and you know, we'll get it answered. But you know, pick our brains or do whatever. If you got something that, you know, you're interested in or want to know something about, you know, by all means. Or if you have something maybe you want to talk about, something, you know, maybe you had a sighting or whatever, you know, give us a call and you know, let's hear about it. It'd be cool, you know. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm being asked if you are.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to express yourself in that manner, because I know it sounds strange whenever you start saying things that you've seen things in a certain way. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that most people don't see. You know, a lot of people don't understand that, but you know.
Well,
don't worry about it.
You know, here's the thing. Nowadays, in this time and era, and in this day, in this society, nobody should ever have to worry about anything they say now. You know what I'm saying? Back 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you know, people, even myself, you know, I was really reluctant on coming out and saying anything. But now it's getting to the point where it's almost normal, you know. And it doesn't matter anymore, you know. So,
Right.
you know.
Well, there's an awakening going on.
Oh, absolutely.
The awakening is happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, a lot of people are afraid of it, they don't know what to do with it. You know, they know something's awakened inside them.
Mm-hmm.
They're not sure what it is. You know, and don't be don't be afraid of it. You know,
Absolutely.
There's so much more to it.
I go to the local Tim Hortons here, and I'll go and grab a coffee, and once in a while, somebody will engage me in a conversation, and start talking, and people always ask what they do for a living, and when somebody asks me that, I tell them that I research aliens and UFOs and giants and our ancient history.
Right.
And these people, they're seriously stunned by it because they can't believe the fact that such things actually exist. Right now, these are young people, old people, people of all kinds. So the awakening is not happening. It's the awakening is only happening in the crowds that you roll around in. Right, so if you roll around with people that are enlightened and receive consciousness, then that's all you'll see. But you're just a small fraction in a huge sea where no one is enlightened. And all these people that are out there, I call them sleepers because they will engage. These are sheep with teeth that will fight to the death, defending their indoctrination, and they don't realize that they've been indoctrinated and they're being controlled, and they don't fully realize their potential, and that's why they're stunned and they can't believe it. So don't believe for a second that there's some sort of awakening happening, because when you look at the greater picture, majority are still sleeping because they still go to ballots and votes. They still keep their monies in banks, and they badmouth the government, and they hate the government, so you have to go and vote. It makes no sense. So if everyone just stops voting and you start putting these people in power, then you begin to take control back away from these entities that control us. Now, entities doesn't necessarily have to mean demonics or aliens. I mean, as in organizations. Right. That are in control of us. So stop putting your money in the banks and stop voting and walk the walk. And, and help enlighten other people. So don't vote. That's probably the worst thing you can do for yourself, because that shows that they're in control. And elections is just an illusion. And how I haven't voted in decades now because I realize that it's garbage. And it's just an illusion. They're going to pick and put whoever they want in wherever they want. It's out of our control. The only way we can expose these people is if we don't go and vote, watch. They'll still insult someone in power. Right? So regardless, the entity must go on, but you have to realize that you're in control from us then.
Wow. That's awesome. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. We got
there's too many sleepers.
Yeah. We got a big question here. Let's see here. Sean Smith, Sean Hardtruth Smith, I like that name, that's cool. Says, I got a question. Why is it you don't really hear anything about the Bermuda Triangle? Do you guys think this is something you're trying to keep under wraps with it? Something does not happen to keep it from the public, because I try to keep up with anything that comes up about the triangle, but here as of play in the last 23 years I haven't heard anything about it. Well, the last thing that I ever remember happening, as far as I remember anything big or recording, was the guy that flew through the Cessna through the time warp. And that was quite a long time ago. So, yeah, good question. And it very well could be that there's just nothing happening out there, at the time, and no one's reporting it or whatever. Anybody got any ideas on that, or has there been anything?
The thing that we gotta go ahead, Tim.
Well, there's there's probably, a lot of it's being quieted down or being hushed. If it's something that doesn't fit the agenda that's going on by the powers that be, and this feeding frenzy that they have going on with the news media, and President Trump, I can't believe this hackling that's going on. I turn on regular TV and I'm appalled at what I see.
Oh, it's constant. It's everywhere. Yeah, even on Facebook. Yeah. I mean, all the social medias, everything. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So a lot of it, it may be there's a lull in the activity there.
Mm-hmm.
But there is now there are things that I've kind of researched and thought right away. Okay, and that's concerning the Malaysia flight 380.
Uh-huh.
That disappeared.
Yeah.
After taking off, and well, I said right away that because Angkor Wat, in the area around Angkor Wat, that was no doubt a power source, a power station to power up something along the lines of Borobudur,
mm-hmm.
where that temple complex, I believe, was a channeling point for a wormhole.
Right.
I believe that they were able to sonically open up a wormhole with the. When you look at Borobudur and you see it from an elevated shot, and you see the top of the stupas, the stupas along the top. There's 74 of them, I believe, and the top of them has a spire made out of stone. They're all made out of solid stone, blocks of stone. The spires are all uniquely the same shape and size, which tells me that they're probably tapping into a resonance right there, which means that was probably some type of a silicone or crystal resonator that fit at the top of each one of those stupas.
Right.
Now you combine that, you combine that much power, and that much frequency, the ability to generate that much frequency, very possibly could have opened up a wormhole or a stargate.
Right.
And I think that there's places around the world that still periodically function as it did, but there's no on and off switch. There's no control of it on how it operates or how it functions. That's why periodically we have disappearances happening in the Bermuda Triangle. For instance, Flight 19, the flight of TVMs that disappeared. Now they sent out a search plane afterwards to
mm-hmm.
go up and find it, and the search plane disappeared.
Right.
So there was, no doubt that was an area that was a time of a hot spot, that where the portal was opening up,
mm-hmm.
or that vortex portal, Stargate, whatever, opened up right there. Well, there's other places around the world. I believe Machu Picchu, in the Andes, or in other areas in the Andes, all around Cusco.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Cusco, for crying out loud, the whole town is a temple complex. It's built on a temple complex.
Sure, yeah.
But those are areas where I believe stargates or wormholes, portals, traveling, being able to travel to either other locations or other dimensions, or both.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Right. I mean, it could be, and that's what I study. That's why I get into a deep thought about, in my thought exercises. I think about how things could operate, how the pyramids, how they would function, how they functioned, and what could they possibly do,
right?
Or what could they possibly be able to do when they're online, mm-hmm. and they're operating.
Cool.
What was going on there, and so I channel a lot of this information into me. You know, I see it how it operates. I can see it and I can understand it. I don't have the formulation, you know, the ability to put it in formulas. And,
I hear you.
Mathematically, I probably sit down and do it because I was pretty good at algebra and trigonometry.
See, the thing we got to keep in mind with the Bermuda Triangle is that it's no different than anything else that comes in threes.
That's
so
true.
We have the Bermuda Triangle,
Yeah.
and then in Mexico we have the Azores Islands,
Yeah.
and then as well we have the Devil's Triangle off the coast of Japan.
Japan.
Now
Yep.
these are three major hotspots. These are three major hotspots of the Earth energy grid line. So possibly these things get activated when there's solar activity, when there's a lot of electromagnetic field, and it opens up some sort of gateways or wormholes or via Rosenberg Bridge, and these people end up somewhere that, and from there they can never come back. Either one, they don't know how to control it, or two, there's already alien species that are already using this method to arrive to Earth and depart from Earth.
Right.
But you have to remember that they're possibly using the sun as a wormhole. Now, those black spots that we see and talk about on the sun are actually black holes, because the sun is around the singularity, which is a black hole in itself. So there's wormholes inside the sun, those black spots. The ET is using that. We can see that in Mesoamerican art from ancient times. We also see that in Egypt. So these people are using the sun, and then when they get here, they're possibly using these triangles that we call triangles, but these hotspots as to egress and egress to like other parts of this universe or the solar system. Who knows? Quick way of travel.
Yeah. Hold on here, guys, just a second. I believe this should be Mr. Leonard O'Neill here. Leo, is that you, sir?
Hi there,
Hey. Who we got? Oh, this is Danielle Periel, right?
That's right. That's right. How's everybody tonight?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Great.
Yeah.
You're talking about one of my favorite subjects.
Cool.
I feel like we should have Jeffrey Boyd, however, on the line when we're talking about it, but I'll talk about him a little bit. About the pyramids, he had a theory that was very interesting, but I also have one that I'd like to share.
Sure.
He felt that they were, he did some examinations on the composition of the Sphinx as well as the pyramids, and he found that they were made out of something similar to concrete.
Right.
And they could have easily poured a mold, which would make a lot of sense, you know. However, it kind of disputes the empty quarries, you know, the quarries that show missing stones.
Right.
But I had a theory, and if you see the giants that they're unearthing, and I'm totally fascinated by giants. I have a feeling Tim is also.
Yeah.
Well, who isn't? Come on. Who doesn't like a good giant myth, right? But if they show these giants that could have been 50 feet so tall, for example, walking the earth, picking up one of those pyramid blocks that would weigh a ton would be like us picking up a brick.
Right.
What would it be for those giants to assemble a pyramid? They could probably do it in an afternoon over coffee.
This is very true.
I absolutely agree with you. Absolutely. I don't think it was us small humans that built these megalithic structures across the planet. I think it was these giants, possibly from the Atlantean root race. You know, long time ago.
Very much so, yes.
I have a lot of articles on giants on our website, so if you guys are interested, check it out.
I'd love to see it.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
think they probably could have walked a dinosaur on a leash, you know, if they were that big. They could have probably
had them for
domesticated
pets, just like the
dinosaurs,
Flintstones.
you know what I'm
Yeah, when you go with the Vedic teachings, they talk about us living alongside dinosaurs because we were that size, and they were no threat to us because we were huge and we were able to defend ourselves against them.
Well, apparently there was a lot more oxygen during that time in the period of Earth.
Right.
And when there's more oxygen, we have a longer lifespan and we grow larger.
Mm-hmm.
And they proved this with a grouper or some sort of fish. I'm going to say a Jewfish because I'm Jewish, but not But they actually did an experiment, and they gave this fish so much more oxygen than it was normally habituated to. And it grew to like 5 pounds. You know, it was like 7 years old, and it was like beyond its lifespan. So the flood, apparently, when Noah had the flood, that's the theory, and I kind of agree that it killed a lot of the life on the planet as well as the plants that reduced our oxygen levels.
Yeah.
And that's why our lifespans got reduced. I'd like to increase the oxygen levels so we could live as long as like Moses supposedly lived. Like 900 years.
The perfect thing with the oxygen is when you look at all our favorite plants, the marijuana plant, when you grow it in a greenhouse and you give it lots and lots of oxygen, you get bigger leaves and bigger buds and bigger stalk.
Yep.
And if you grow it outside, it would be it would be like third the size. So, you know, oxygen for sure. It helps with the size.
Well, I think we're also losing a lot of oxygen, sadly, because of all of the chemtrails getting political here. They're killing a lot of our trees. They don't care if they're killing us yet. They should care about the plant life that it's killing, and it's reduced the oxygen levels that we're living with the minimum amount, I think.
If we really knew what was going on as far as the chemtrails. Now, a lot of the chemtrails, I get, I know that that's a real thing, but a lot of chemtrails you see are actual vapor trails from jet airliners.
Well, when they're crisscrossing in the sky, you know, and they're making a tic-tac-toe, I mean, come on. And when they're going vertically up, those are not jetliners. I mean, what passenger jet is going to go on a vertical?
The big issue around that is the big issue around that is there was a big hubbub about the destruction of the ozone layer. Oh no, we're losing the ozone layer. We're we're going to have cancer outbreaks like. Blah, 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 whatever. Okay, they blamed it on CFCs. They said, okay, we're going to ban all CFCs, and anything that can eat or destroy ozone. Well, they don't care to tell you that what kills ozone faster than anything is CO2. And CO2 is one of the byproducts of jet exhaust. Mm-hmm. Now, jet exhaust being now see, CFC takes a long time. They might eventually make it up in the atmosphere, but for the most part, they're going to stay down low. That's a gas that's going to stay down, with all your air pollution gases in the big cities and all that stuff, all around those areas. Very little of it will actually get up into the high elevation, whereas exhaust being deposited at 38,000, 40,000 feet up in the stratosphere. When you deposit that much CO2 in the stratosphere, it's not very far up there. You're right there at the same area as the ozone layer.
Well, that's how they modify the weather. I mean, scratching that ozone layer will create weather anomalies.
Well,
I don't know.
We've been seeding weather since Vietnam War.
A long time.
Right.
Vietnam, we had aircraft that flew at high altitude along these fronts, these weather fronts of high.
They extended their monsoon
but no clouds.
season. That gave them a very bad disadvantage, and they couldn't have enough rice, etc. They ruined their rice crop.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's ruining our ozone layer. I mean, does anyone care?
Yeah.
What's happening?
I think chemtrails is nanotechnology, and these guys are deploying these chemtrails in strategic areas.
Yeah.
I think it's a net that they passed over hotspots where UFOs are egressing and degressing, and the Air Force wants to know when. So when a UFO comes through and breaks the
Right.
net, kind of like a spider's web, breaks the net, then the radar goes off, and the government knows, the Air Force knows exactly where these things are so that they can be engaged.
Cool.
They're using the weather to fight UFOs. I'm sure UFOs have something to counteract weather.
Well, I tell you what.
Just switch dimensions and it doesn't even.
I tell you what. Hang on here just a second, guys. We may have somebody here that can answer this for us.
Awesome.
Mr. O'Neill, is that you, sir?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, there he is.
Hey, buddy.
Hello, Leo.
Good. How are we doing?
Good. What's your debate on the chemtrail situation?
You know, when I was living in Arizona, when I first heard about it, I did a show with one of the guys, I can't remember his name right now, and I apologize because I was trying to get him on here again, and he told me about the chemtrails, and I got to thinking, at first I thought, that's just jet wash, man.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started looking up in Arizona, right? And
Right.
paying attention to how much that stuff, and Omar knows this, he and I have had many conversations about this.
Yeah.
When you look up and you see how, like she just said, when they're crisscrossing the sky, and that stuff's not dissipating, and it's spreading out over the sky more and more, and then all of a sudden you have a hazy day afterwards. Now, I grew up in a military family. Okay, I understand chemtrails. I'm not saying I'm the guy who has been up there and made them, but I understand them.
Mm-hmm.
And when you watch even regular jet commercial liners, they'll create a trail, but it doesn't spread out and turn into this fog that covers the whole horizon. It stays in that one little teeny line, and eventually it just kind of floats down and it dissipates, but it stays tight. Now, when the military does that,
also drift.
Mm.
They also drift
and they also do it in
time.
the grid, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, and so I gotta say that at first, when I was younger, I thought chemtrails, no, man. But now, the older I get, the more I look around and look at these pictures, the more I've seen the videos, the more I say I think they're up to something. I don't know what.
Well, see, here's my question about this. All right, why is it, I mean, if this is the case, all right, and I'm not going to say it isn't and it isn't, but how come we don't see, like, the president and everybody else running around with gas masks on and blah, blah, blah. You see what I'm saying? I mean,
I can answer that in one word.
Sure.
One word, inoculation.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
You don't see the 1% dying.
Yep.
Right? You see the 1% dying from...
Yeah, how many times? Yeah, Omar's preaching it. He and I have talked about this a million times.
Yep.
How many times have you seen the elite die of cancer, leukemia, or anything other than... They have pneumonia and they die of old age.
Right.
Yeah, they're inoculated, they have vaccines, they have cures.
Yeah.
So they can pollute the planet all they want. In their houses, they're probably running pure oxygen. You know what I'm saying? Because they know what's going on.
Yeah, they wouldn't surprise me.
Stimulation therapies, they're getting IVs, they have their own doctors that are removing. I have so much heavy metal in me. I've got more heavy metal than AC/DC or Megadeth,
Right.
Play on, girl.
You can cleanse that. If you look up heavy metal poisoning, you can cleanse the heavy metals out of your body. It takes a little bit, but it's like a normal cleanse. You can get that stuff out of you.
Yep.
How? Because I'm like really over the limit.
One of the ways that the Asians have a really good way when you put those, you can get those stickers that you put on your feet and go to sleep at night.
I have that.
And it'll actually, so that helps. But I would say go online, and I don't have the website on hand, but a buddy of mine, he and I were just talking about this, and I haven't talked to him for years, and he was talking about how some of the kids who were autistic or supposed to be, because they were diagnosed that, actually just had heavy metal poisoning.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. It causes a lot of the symptoms that, like, heavy. I have Epstein-Barr's disease, Roseanne-Barr disease. No, I'm kidding. That's
Roseanne Barr disease.
I know you said I was
That's
laughing.
funny.
I got Roseanne Barr disease too. Jesus.
I think a lot of people
I was like, I'm in trouble now.
Hey, for you viewers here live on Facebook and who's listening to all this.
I got that Hawaiian disease too. I got that Lakanookie. I got that Hawaiian.
Oh, you do?
That's funny.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, buddy.
I don't think I'd get too close to Hawaii right now, but that's all right. For the people that are on Facebook Live watching this and listening to us right now, the gentleman that just called in, that's Leonard O'Neill. and he's from OrionRising.com. And you guys want to check him out. He's really got some good stuff going on there.
I don't actually have the .com up yet, but you guys can look at me on Facebook, Orion Rising Worldwide. I don't have the .com up, but I will. I have a show tonight, too, by the way, at 8 p.m.
Cool.
Well, please invite everybody that's in the chat. I would love to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just set in fact, I think I did. I think I just set up no, I didn't. I was actually in the process. I already set the key, so I'll throw that up for you guys to get with the event on the events calendar. I was in the process, and I realized that you guys were live here on Close Encounters, so I jumped on.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you did. Good deal.
So, yeah, so me too. So, and then also I have a website, like Omar was saying. Thank you, Omar, for plugging that. I have a website. It's called Kelto's Cauldron. You can go to keltoscauldron.com. If you're wondering about where that's at, go to Orion Rising, the page, and you'll see a link to it there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, keltoscauldron.com. Tonight at 8 p.m., I have Travis Smith on, and we'll probably be talking about this kind of stuff.
Cool.
I mean, he's going to be talking about tonight about what's in the sky and different things. He's got pictures and videos he's going to show. We're going to be on Zoom. So if you guys want to either grab the link to Zoom and come over into that audience, or watch it live on Facebook like this, I'll be streaming it here. Take a look at that, and then I want to plug at the exact same time. If you don't want to catch my show, Dino Hewlett is going to be on for Paranormal Into the Night. Unfortunately, he and I ended up scheduling a show at the same time, so I'm going to give him a little plug because he's been off the air for like 8 months.
A long time.
And he's finally back on the air. Yeah, a long time. And he did his second episode back. And he's excited, and unfortunately, I scheduled Travis on this Sunday. I don't normally do Saturday, Sunday because you guys all do. Omar does, and he does Saturday, Sunday. So I do Monday through or Tuesday through Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Or one of those days. So yeah, check that stuff out. Sorry, we can get back to the topic now. I just had to do some plugs and some commercials there. Right, got to pay the bills, guys.
Hey,
now, you was going to answer a question we were discussing. Yeah. Which question was that? About the chemtrails, or about the pyramids, or giants, or all of the above?
Well, I got one for you.
We're talking about the chemtrails, but we can...
I got Neil Gore coming on up here in a couple of days, and we're going to be talking about the conference that he's got coming up in October. 30 speakers.
What day is that?
It's going to be huge. We've been trying to set it up here for the past month, but my schedule hasn't allowed it. But I've been talking to him tonight, and probably going to get that going here, and maybe tomorrow, the day after, pretty fast this week.
Okay, let me know, because I have a show on Tuesday.
Cool.
I have a show on Tuesday as well, but with Travis. So if I need to, if you set it up for Tuesday, I can change it for Wednesday. So let me know what day you're going to go to and what time, brother.
Yeah, cool, brother. Right on. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Awesome. We're going to rename the show plugging.
Well, no, I mean, that's what we do, though. I mean, we get, this is what we do, and I don't mind at all. I wish we had more, honestly. It's awesome. And I feel bad, because like last night now, I plugged everybody, but I forgot to mention about Bill Peters and The Slice. He's got a YouTube channel, and, he's always looking for people to, interview and stuff. So, good guy, awesome stuff.
And you got the closeencounters.info
yes.
website as well.
Right.
I noticed that you didn't plug yesterday.
Yeah, I'm still working on that one too. But but that's all right. I mean, that's what we do here. We kind of help each other out, and whatever. And a great group of people, and the thing is, it's like I said before. The older folks, like the ones that are on Ancient Aliens that you see all the time, and the blah 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 and the bullshit, we're different. This group of people that you see here, and there's like 3 or 4 of us here just on this show alone. We're bringing out the new stuff. We're showing you what's going on now. And different things, and we're answering people's questions.
You've got to enlighten anybody who's not awake yet.
Yeah. Leo, we missed you last night, man.
Exactly what I'm pushing for.
I think it's shows around it. Is what these guys
I
are doing.
actually did that on purpose. I had to... Oh, sorry, Omar. I'm sorry, brother. I was talking at the same time as you were.
These guys steal ideas from us. They take what we're talking about and enhance them and feature them in their shows.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Absolutely, they do. I just was talking the other night to the director for the international director for MUFON for the investigations, And I was telling him that MUFON did it for a minute on the site that he used to run, that he closed down, but then the owner re-put it back up.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, really? And then I told him about Ancient Aliens, and he said, I kind of noticed that because Omar, everything that he and I talked about and the guys in our group talked about, because some of those guys are administrators in our groups,
mm-hmm.
they saw the content of what we were talking about. And the next thing you know, next season there was episodes made with that same exact content that we were talking about. More than one.
You know what's really funny is I'll do a certain show like right here on Blog Talk, and we'll have a certain topic going, and we'll do our thing. And a few days later, sea to sea, coast to coast, we'll have a show with the same damn thing. A few days later.
Well, they have their little slides,
so it's like they're listening in,
have...
Yeah, it's funny. It's like they run out of ideas, but they take our stuff, I think it's ironic.
Yeah, they have to get their ideas somewhere,
Well, gee whiz.
A couple of years ago, I was talking to my admin team, and we were talking around the idea that Osiris and Set and Horus and all these guys, they may possibly be drones,
right?
With biological skin, but artificial intelligence, and they're able to transform themselves into different objects.
Uh-huh.
And so then we brought it out on our group watchers and had a pretty good discussion about it. 3 months later, there was an Ancient Aliens show, and you can look it up where they're talking about it.
There you go.
And,
Absolutely.
Artificial intelligence. They did a little bit of homework and dug in a little bit deeper, and came back with exactly what we were talking about. Leonard and I talked about this before, and
absolutely.
It happens all the time. So we're actually more cutting edge.
We don't have a budget like they do, but we have the brain power. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, well we got all the support.
Well, you know what I tell people?
Yeah.
And Omar will test this, and I've done this on his show too. I tell him that we're so far ahead of the curve that we're on the straightaway.
That's right. Exactly right.
Everybody else is still behind us. Yeah. We're around the curve on the straightaway.
Exactly right.
Well, what you were bringing up, I want to mention Jeffrey Boyd one more time. I can't mention him enough. I'm so fond of him. He's so great.
Mm-hmm.
He caught that anomaly that was exiting the sun. Mm-hmm. He has it on tape on his site, in Independent Researchers.
Right.
And if that's not disclosure, nothing is. I mean, that almost says, like, flat out, this is a portal. It's a black hole. There's things that are the size of Earth exiting the sun. That's kind of wild, that they're...
Now that's perfect that you bring that up. It's perfect that you bring that up because... the topic of my show tonight at 8 p.m. with Travis Smith is going to be that. He has pictures and he has video.
Cool.
And he says that it's possible that he believes that there are at least 2 other planets that are already in our solar system that our government is covering up. And it's like literally like smoke and mirrors. He says that literally they have a giant space station with mirrors on it so that when that planet gets too close to the sun and starts to block out the light of the sun, they reflect the sunlight off of the mirrors to Earth, so the sun looks normal to us while that planet moves into our view.
Well, that would explain a lot of the double sun
Let's just talk about the tilting of the Earth. This is very concerning to me. I mean, where the sun isn't rising in the same place, it's not setting in the same place. The moon is all over the place. What is going on with the Earth? We have volcanoes that are erupting. We've got a record number of earthquakes. I mean, our planet's like growing up or something.
Well, it's that time. Yeah, it's that time.
Nemesis is the answer.
Yep.
It's our binary star that's in the neighborhood. We can see double stars in the horizon.
Yep.
And Nemesis is a brown dwarf star, which is far more dense, and it's not orbiting us. We're orbiting it. And we're nearby its orbit, and that's what's causing all this gravitational disruption here on the planet with volcanoes and earthquakes and
including the Mars having bigger storms.
The entire solar system is warming up. It's just not the Earth. That's due to another sun being in the neighborhood, and I'm sure in a little while it's going to be gone and everything's going to go back to normal.
I was just going to say, in a little while we'll move further away from it. Yeah, absolutely.
Orbit. Yeah, 3,600 year elongated orbit. And that's it. It's gonna. That's where I believe the Anunnaki comes from. Enki and Lemurian.
I agree with you, by the way. But you know what I agree with you. Now we've talked about it 100 times.
It's like when when we go to
Planet
Mars,
X
right?
or
We're waiting
Planet
for the
Nibiru.
trajectory to be. Yeah, we're waiting for the trajectory, and when our sun and Nemesis comes close, our solar systems are close, and they're able to travel here in a quick, in a hurry, probably to collect homage, all the gold that has gone missing on this planet, and possibly they're getting that ready. Another thing I gotta say is that satellite that they sent to Pluto. And they made a New Horizons. They made this huge deal out of how much budget they spent on going to Pluto and studying Pluto. But it just happens to be that the project, its primary goal was to go to Pluto and study Pluto. That's what the budget was about. That's why they built it. But when they got there, just zipped right past it like it wasn't even there.
Exactly.
So what I'm thinking is that was a communications device that they were sending to the outreaches of the solar system, so that can be like a communications relay station between the Nemesis star system and our star system, so that way the communication becomes faster. You know what I'm saying? They're bouncing it off of there, and possibly it's that, or investigating on how close they are and when we got to pay that homage. Because all these families on this planet are ruled by those people.
I wondered about that too, if they weren't actually sending that past Pluto to get Voyager. You remember the Voyagers that we got that are so far out there now? I'm wondering if they're getting to where they can communicate with them better too. You know what I'm saying? Maybe keep them pushing, or doing whatever. I often wondered about that.
Someone took a photo of Jupiter. Was it Jupiter or Saturn? From the Earth. Is that even? I can't even believe that's possible.
Oh yeah, I see it all the time in my telescope. Absolutely, yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
They're not close.
Yeah. Well, they're not close, but no, they're not close by any means. But I mean, they're closer now than they are.
No.
Matter of fact, this month is the best month for Jupiter and Saturn. To be honest with you, yeah.
So our cameras are not getting better. It's just possible.
Well, both. Yeah, both.
Yeah. Last year there was 2 years ago, during a wildfire, my town was covered over with smoke, and the sun was pretty hazy, so I pulled up my telescope and I pointed at it, and it's like the black holes I was talking about earlier. They're clear as daylight. These things are huge.
Yes, they
They're
are.
like 4, 5, 6, 10, 100 times the size of the Earth.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, spacecraft coming in and out of that is not a far-fetched theory. It's not even a theory, in fact. The ancients talked about it. Nassim Haramein talks about it all the time. He tells us that the sun is a singularity, that it's a black hole, and it's emitted around a black hole, and they're coming in and out of that. And then there's a lot of video evidence of huge spacecraft that are coming in and out, sucking plasma out of the sun.
Sure.
Imagine the type of alloy you would have to suck up all that hot plasma before it so it doesn't melt.
That's crazy.
That's some pretty good metallurgy. Talking about Jeffrey Jr. That's some good metallurgy to put together that type of alloy.
Now, what's the spacecraft that we build or we're building now? That we're going to send right into the sun, just to burn it up. I forget what they call it now, but they're actually in the project of they're going to send this rocket satellite thing or whatever, and they're going to keep it filming until it finally dissipates, or whatever. But yeah, that's the plan.
Don't you think we have the technology back engineered by now of the sun resistant metal?
Absolutely. I agree.
I've heard that we've shot down at least 100 UFOs by now.
Well, see, this is the thing.
I think it's.
I got a feeling.
It's called the Parker Solar Probe.
Parker Solar Probe?
That's the one we're talking about.
I think Omar's right. That sounds right.
I'll have to Google
we
that.
know that there has to be some some new technology. Here's a perfect example. My nephew just graduated. And he's an aerospace engineer now. He just graduated literally a week ago. My brother said to him, now you get to go. Maybe you get to work for NASA or one of those companies that work on rockets. And do you know what he said to my brother?
Yeah.
He said I hate rockets.
No
he
kidding.
Said, you hate rockets. Why are you getting me into the industry? And he says I'm getting into the industry because this rocket that we're using is based on engine that we built in 1938 that von Braun built. He says, I want to know what the real stuff is. He says, that's why I get into this. He says, I want to end up working for the government and find out what the real technology is.
Right.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
Like,
That's cool. Well, look at this stuff they're testing now with all this. I mean, people are, they're giving us videos saying that they're UFOs, and they're not, but they're all that, what is that? Not magnesium. What is that? That sulfate that they're using. And it's got the spiral look to it and all that stuff when it takes off. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, new rocket. It's a new rocket, new technology.
That's some crazy stuff there. Wow.
The way we launch satellites that totally look like UFOs, I can't get over that. Those are ours. Have you seen that?
Yeah, it's crazy stuff.
I mean, the first time I saw that, I said, that's definitely like a UFO.
And people are going nuts over it, Yeah, YouTube is full of
the way we
videos.
launch satellites. I'm like, you're kidding.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Well, now, I was just surprised to see this episode I just did on Friday with Stephen A. Hudgens.
Yeah, watch that. Good one.
Did you watch that?
Yes, I did.
So you heard what he said. We talked about that exact thing.
Yep.
He said, I can neither confirm nor deny that the things that I'm saying are my opinions or if I know them for sure.
Right.
But he did say that in his investigations, 90% of everything that he has investigated that has been a UFO, he has either debunked or said that's got to be ours.
Right. Yep.
Huh.
So, and I asked him, do you believe that the American government has a black ops and has back engineered equipment and has our own equipment? He said yes.
Absolutely.
He said yes.
EP has a strict no contact policy. That's why when they abduct us, they bring us back and erase our memories. Because they have this strict, it's kind of like Star Trek's Prime Directive, to where they can't interfere. They can come in, they can show us that, hey, we can disarm your nukes if we want to, so don't bother using them, because, we can shut them off if we want to.
Well, they didn't shut off, they didn't shut them off, he tested underground, and I know that exacerbated the Mexican earthquake. He tested underground nuke. And a day later, they had a 9.3 earthquake in Mexico. I'm sure they would have had an earthquake, but I'm sure it wouldn't have been that big. After under testing. I don't know why they didn't catch that if they're so on the ball with stopping nukes,
Right.
I think that they were sleeping on that job.
Or they were the ones behind it.
That too,
There's more going on than meets the eye.
Yeah.
Right? Just because.
Well, isn't it amazing we're friends with North Korea now? Yeah.
Yeah, that was a miracle, huh?
Isn't that amazing? How all of a sudden now we're in forces with North Korea? When we were.
Well, I'm sure it's because they gave him $100 million.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll make him our best friend. All those guys just gonna pay him off and they become your buddies.
Yeah, ain't that something?
Well, they're all in bed together.
Well, of course they are.
Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump and Justin Trudeau and all these guys. They all work for the same master, and they create these little fear tactics, these political problems.
That was a good one, though. I'll give them that. They scared me.
Division.
That worked.
That's the reason they do it.
Running nations. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
scared me to
That's
death.
the reason they do it, though. Omar's right. It's the reason they do it, because that way we're watching that crap and we're not paying attention to what they're really doing.
Exactly right. That's the truth. Yep. That's exactly what's going on.
Donald Trump throws out tweets, and everybody's worried about what he's saying on his tweets, and while on the right hand he's cutting deals with China, and nobody's asking him what kind of deals he's cutting China. But, they did say the FBI head director, is an asshole. How everybody, millions of people don't talk about that. No question. Hey, what was that deal in
and he
China?
knows it. He's brilliant. He knows it. All he has to do is tweet some crazy thing, and everybody catches it on the news, and that's all they talk about. Meanwhile, like Omar said, he skips out of the country, or he picks up the red phone and goes, okay, so where were we on that deal that we were going to do between you and me over there talking to the guy in China? And meanwhile, he hit the news on, and they're going, Trump tweeted this, Trump tweeted that. He's all, hold on, I got to tweet again. About to go to commercial.
Right. Yeah, ain't that funny?
And then when they come across Trump, they're not going to ask him what he did in China. They're going to talk to him about what he tweeted, because that's...
Well, how's he going to get the aliens to pay for that force field, huh? That's what I want to know.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Mexico, what kind of currency are the aliens going to deal with, huh?
You know, when he's talking about the Space Force, now, Omar knows this, I'm pretty sure. I'm not positive if he does. I'm pretty sure. I think Omar and I talked about this because we saw, and it might have been Omar that told me, somebody showed me a designation where it showed a pay stub from the federal government paying somebody, and the designation for that pay was off-world personnel.
Yeah.
Off-world?
Off-world personnel.
Here's the thing.
It was not designated as, Houston Space Rocket. It was off-world personnel.
Exactly.
They gotta get off-world personnel. All those bases have to be paid. They're not going to work for free.
Well,
right?
Well, that's why all the
interesting. Very interesting. What bank do they use on Mars and the Moon?
I didn't see that. I just right. Probably that's not B of A because B of A is owned by the Arabs.
It's called the Lunar Bank. It's a lunar bank.
The Lunar Bank.
Yeah, the Lunar Bank.
Lunar Bank. Yeah.
David Wilcox and Richard C. Hoagland are convinced, and they're trying to convince the rest of the world too, that NASA, the U.S. government and NASA have been doing top secret missions to Mars for the last 30 years.
Oh, I think
I've been told that myself. I agree with what he said.
Already an ongoing situation. It's already an ongoing thing. And the thing is there is proof positive of ancient civilization on Mars.
Oh, that I wouldn't doubt at all. Yeah.
All this going on. Yeah.
I don't doubt that at all.
We're the refugees left over from Mars.
Right. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're the ones that
left it there.
inhabited Mars. We came from the Pleiades star system, and then we Pleiades we came from the Orion star system, and then eventually we made it over here. And then we came to Mars,
there was five
and
different.
was there.
There was five different.
There's 5 different groups. Planet, and we terraformed it, and it talks about in the Bible, talks about in previous other literature as well. Native American mythology of the turtle. When there was no land, and slowly but surely land was built. That land was probably built, by us because we terraformed it using sound frequency and elevating and lifting the tectonic plates, and that's why those tectonic plates are on the move. So, we've been here a very, very long time, and whatever happened on Mars was probably, part of the ongoing cosmic war, which we're still feeling the effects
Still
of.
getting it, yeah.
Because
absolutely.
Well, they're still battling. I have evidence of that. I have videos of that.
Yeah.
I have
those
evidence.
UFOs that are crashing and crash landing, they're probably damaged due to some sort of, engagement out in space.
I have a mid-air collision of two UFOs. One deliberately attacked another object, and instead of it falling, it floated up. It floated anti-gravity totally. It didn't fall down. It definitely damaged the craft. I have a video of this. I caught this.
Right.
The only air-to-air mid-air collisions between two objects that are not us, because we don't have planes that float up when they're damaged.
Right.
I'd like to. That should have been viral. I don't know why that didn't.
Now in the chat, Dick has a good question. Dick says, Space Force to fight against who? Well, see now, Dick, if you listen to what Dr. Stephen Greer said, and what I've said on my show, what Omar said on his show, and on this show I've heard it said, if you listen to what we're saying, it's false flag that our government's going to use against us. They're trying to get everybody, and have been, afraid of aliens because if the aliens exist and we know it, who are we going to listen to? Are we going to look at our government and say, well, look, there's an intergalactic government that's bigger than you, so we shouldn't listen to you. So they're trying to get a one-world government going, and the only way they can do that is right now, nothing else is working. Now, Dr.
Uh-oh. No, don't do that now. Oh, hang on, guys. I just got dropped. Hang on, let me get it back. Don't go anywhere, anybody. Wouldn't you know it? What happened? Come on. Ain't that some shit? You see what happened, guys? You see what we're talking about? Look what they just did. And now, ain't that something? Oh, ain't that something? Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Ain't that... Check it out, folks. See, look what's going on. Look what's going on here. Wow. Oh, my goodness. Ha, ha, ha. Ain't that something? Wow, 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 wow. Okay, what am I going to do here? Oh, no. We gotta... I'm going to have to... oh, this is crazy. Here we go. Let's see if I can get it on here. Come on. Ain't that something? See, this is what happens. Big Brother is listening in.
Start your show now. Press 1.
Here we go.
It appears that the host has already dialed into this show. Only one host is allowed per show. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Ain't that some shit? They will not let me. Oh. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Hang on, folks. I gotta try it. This is crazy. This is crazy. They are not going to let me. They are not going to let me do this. Unbelievable. Wow. Okay, let's see here. One. Let's see if this. And nobody's going to hear me. Oh, if this ain't something. Son of a bitch. Let me try it again. Nope, they will not let me do it. Unbelievable. There you go, guys. Look at that. I cannot open the show back up again. Unbelievable. Well, if anybody can, wow, this is crazy. And I can't get a word to them, and I know they can't hear me either. They shut us down. They shut us down. Only because we were talking about something that we weren't supposed to be talking about. You see how close they listen to us? You see what happens? And this is it. Oh, wow. What a thing to have happen. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? I can't believe this. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah. You're not going to let me do it. Come on. Maybe now. Hang on. Let's see here. Come on.
Start your show now. Press 1 to hear.
It appears that the host has already dialed into this show. Only one host is allowed per show. Thank you for using Blogtalk Radio. Goodbye.
Well, you son of a bitch, I am the host. What the fuck are you doing? Excuse my language. Oh, sons of bitches. Sons of bitches. Ah, if that ain't something. And here's the thing is, I cannot hang up as the host on here because there's nothing here for me to hang up. I can hang everybody else up, but I cannot hang up my own thing because when you call in, it directly connects you to the show. So this is just a bogus way of them keeping me on the outside of this program. This is unbelievable. Oh my gosh. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Wow. What can I do here? I don't know. I don't think I can do anything. There's nothing I can do because they're not going to let me do it. I'm going to see if I can get a hold of, instead of dialing 1, let me see if I can get a hold of the, this is crazy. Wow. Unbelievable.
Start your show now. Press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2. To speak to customer service.
Now, I bet you they don't answer. But I tell you, busy signal. Busy signal. You hear it? Can everybody hear that? Busy signal. Oh, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. And the thing is, I think that those people that are still in the show can actually hear each other. They just don't know that I'm out of the show. They have no idea that that they unhooked us here. Ain't that something? And every time I go to redo this, it takes the thing down off the screen. Unbelievable. Talk about censorship. Yeah, this is it. You're seeing it firsthand.
Start your show now. Press 1. To hear important instructions.
It appears that the host has already dialed into this show. Only one host is allowed per show. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Take that, you son of a bitch. It appears the host is out. No kidding. Really? Wow. And there's no way for me to get off the show without ending the show. That's the thing that kills me. I cannot, wow, this is unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is totally amazing. Okay, you know what I can do? Let me, I might have an answer. Give me a couple minutes, folks. I'm going to be right back. Stay with us. See, I'm live, but the guys, Leonard, you guys that are on, if you are still talking to them in the Blog Talk thing, let them know I'm on the outside. they block me from actually getting into my show. You guys can talk all you want to and hear each other, but they block me from getting back into the show. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go grab another cell phone or another phone, and I'm going to dial in as a guest. I'll bring Omar back up. But let them know I'm on the outside looking in. So just tell them that, and I'm going to go grab another phone and see if I can dial in as a guest on my own show, and then we'll see if we can come in the back door that way, and we'll fuck with them. I'll be right back. Give me a couple minutes here.
and I appreciate you doing that. So you take your time with it. When you do get it, just invite me. Leonard O'Neill.
Leonard O'Neill. Okay, let me make you my friend on Facebook first of all. That'll.
If you do that on Facebook, you'll see my icon for. Okay, hold on. He's back now, or he has us on the phone.
Okay.
There he is.
Okay.
Yeah, he can hear us now. He has his phone there, so he can hear us. So for those of you who are listening, he can actually hear us now. And
there you go.
The one that has the Orion Rising, the one, all of those are actually me, but it's all for different things. Leonard O'Neill Investing is my company. Leonard O'Neill, the one that has the Orion Rising.
You still got that one for sure. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna add you. Okay. You're my friend already. You are my friend.
See, I thought so. That's why I said, don't we know each other?
Okay, cool. Excellent. I'm glad we're friends.
Okay,
so
everybody.
I know we're friends. Who else is online? Omar, I think I'm a friend of.
Okay, can you guys...
I see that you're back at your desk and you've got the phone so you can hear us now. Welcome.
Thank you. How's it going?
Hey, Clarence, welcome back.
I had to call in. Yeah.
What happened to us, Clarence?
Well, we got to talking about the space stuff, you know, with the and they cut us off.
Oh, that got heavy, yeah.
Yeah.
When they were just
we were talking.
Distracting us with little things while they're covering up bigger things.
Yeah, we were talking about something that we weren't supposed to talk about, and they shut me off.
Yep.
Yeah, this is unbelievable.
We just kept ad-libbing. We just kept talking, and it's a good thing that we all host shows because we just kept talking.
Yes.
Talking about different things, and then waited for you to come back, and it's a good thing we got you back, right?
Yeah, that's right. Can everybody on the live feed on Facebook hear the phone? Okay, can everybody hear that?
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, I was listening to you earlier, and I could hear the conversation. Let me go check again.
Yeah, that's how I knew you were back, because I left my sound on Facebook.
Cool.
And once I could hear myself on there, I went, okay, then everybody can still hear what we're saying now on Facebook. So for those of you who are on Facebook and you didn't hear what happened to us, what had happened was there was a weird anomaly that had happened earlier where there was another call for some reason dialed all of us again, and you heard a reverb real fast, and then it stopped.
Right,
and that stopped. It booted Clarence off of Blog Talk Radio, but we were still live on Blog Talk Radio, and you guys lost the feed on Facebook. But the whole time we were still talking, but we knew it, but not right away. And then once we found out, we just kind of killed time here. You guys didn't miss anything. We were talking personal stuff and just kind of hanging out and getting to know one another a little bit more. Like Omar and I know each other already, but all the rest of you out there on Facebook didn't get to hear anything we talked about. And it's okay because we weren't talking about anything that you guys missed except for a couple of different shows. So now that Clarence is back, brother, thank you for not just hanging up and blowing it all, just going, hey, I'm going to try and make this work.
No, there's always more than one way to skin a cat. So the only way they're going to knock us out of here now is to take the whole show down. So we're going to see what happens here.
They've done that to Omar and I.
I know.
We had Omar's entire studio go down 2 years ago, right?
Yep. But, yeah, this is different.
Episode of Watcher Stock, and everything he had, all the batteries just died all at the same time, and it took almost a day for them to charge back up.
Sure.
We lost the feed, lost the show, everything went down.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so don't taunt them.
But ain't it something though? Yeah. And like I was telling the viewers during all this is what Big Brother does to us. See, and people don't think people think we have it easy out here and that we're just whatever. But when we're doing a show like this,
they think it's a conspiracy theory.
Exactly.
And those of you who are here that saw this live happen, that's not an anomaly. That's not a coincidence.
No, that's
you don't literally have the host get split up from the call-in callers.
No.
But Facebook stays live but drops the feed. That's insane. What are the odds that that's going to happen?
Never. So that's a new one.
That's the first time I've ever seen anything like that happen on by the way. And I've been doing this. I don't think Omar has either. Where literally they just peeled off half of the show,
right,
and left the other half live over here, and the other half live over here. I've never seen that happen.
No, ain't that something?
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Yeah, I've never had that happen either. That's a first.
This is what happens. This is what happens when you try to talk about sensitive subjects. They come along and they tell you, "Hey, fuck off. We don't want you doing this shit around here."
For those of you who are just joining, and you guys aren't sure, you're just joining, so you don't know what we were talking about at the time. I'll tell you what we were talking about at the time. We were talking about off-world stuff and the fact that our government might be covering up
Pacific racist in Texas. We're going to be talking about that too. Only I'm going to be on my own platform, and hopefully they won't try to nail me because I'm going to be on Zoom, so I'm not going to be on. Now I'm scared. Maybe I will do it on OBS on my own platform, so they can't knock me off.
Right.
If that happens to my show tonight, and I go down, I will load OBS and run my own and go strictly right back live on Facebook. So
cool.
So if they try to kick me off, then we'll fix it.
Well, we'll be looking out for it. we'll see what happens. Yeah, crazy.
That's crazy, right?
Isn't that something? Unbelievable.
Sharon says we're the revolution. In a sense, we kind of are, but it's not. No. See, I always want to make sure that everybody doesn't know that any of us we're not trying to call for a real, literal open revolution because that would cause hundreds of thousands, if not millions of deaths. That's not the way it's going to happen, and that doesn't work. Gandhi proved that the other way does work, okay?
Right.
And Martin Luther King did too until they shot him in the head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You don't need to be violent. You don't need to be violent to make things change. All you need to do is get together and get numbers. In fact, when I was talking to Stephen Hutchins from MUFON, he said, all you guys on the fringe out there, all you guys doing these shows, join MUFON and get your fans to join because we're gaining a voice. One of the ladies in MUFON just got her license to be a lobbyist in Washington. And if we can get numbers behind MUFON, then they can start making changes to the government because they'll have a voice.
Cool.
So get some people behind them. And so because they've gotten that big, I think a lot of us need to start putting our foot into with them, putting our voice with them to help them to gain some more respect. Because there's only 2 million people in the National Rifle Association,
right?
But they got a lot of clout.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if we can get 2 million people on the face of the earth to join MUFON, doesn't mean that we're going to be out there doing the rallies and going out and having to bang the streets or anything like that. Just them having the sheer volume of people. And I'm telling you right now, I am not a member of MUFON right now, nor am I getting paid by saying this. I haven't joined yet, but I'm going to join MUFON.
Right.
Just so that there's a voice there that, so I'm not getting paid for this. So it isn't a commercial for MUFON. This is me being me, like Clarence, like Omar, like, Dino, who's on tonight as well, like Portal to Ascension with Neil and his wife. This is just me being, not trying to step over anybody and saying we all need to be together. We all need to work together like we're doing. And I think that if we just put our name to and behind MUFON, if we all do that, even you fans out there, join MUFON, get their thing that comes once a month. They have a periodical that they email out, just so that they can say to the government, look, we have 1 million members, 2 million members. We have a voice. They're going to want to talk about America, especially because those are voters.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And if they know there's 2 million voters that are going to listen, that are behind what MUFON's agenda is, then they're going to listen to what MUFON has to say. So I think that's one thing that I'm going to do. And you guys, maybe you don't like MUFON, but maybe you do. Maybe you don't know about this, but they have gotten that large now that they actually have a voice in the White House, or not in the White House, but in the Washington. So they have an actual lobbyist now. So I say, guys, I recommend joining MUFON and get behind them because we can help out. And maybe we'll get closer to disclosure for real.
It's funny. I was going to I was going to talk to you and Steve or Mr. Harvey when you were on. I tried to join MUFON back years ago as an investigator, and they sent me the package, with a bunch of questionnaires and stuff. And I sent it back and whatever, and then they sent me back a letter, and I wish I had it to show everybody, but it said because I believe too much into the paranormal and the UFO thing that they would not allow me to be an investigator.
Yeah. Okay, you're right there. That's one of the things that Stephen said first and foremost.
Yep.
We don't do paranormal.
No, they don't.
So
no.
That's why I'm not like us. That's why I don't go and try to work for them either. Because if anybody knows me, you guys know that I have paranormal sites. I have spiritual sites. I have groups. I have psychics. The whole nine. Okay? And I have abilities. So they wouldn't want me either, Clarence.
No, it's funny, but it's just funny how that worked out. You know what I'm saying? It was like, because you believe in certain things, they didn't, they want the ones that, you remember back in the day with like Project Blue Book with Heinemann and them guys or whatever, and the one guy was a disbeliever. Well, when he wound up getting all said and done, he took off like a rocket and became his own advocate, because it changed his mind. So, Same kind of thing with these guys, you know. The less you know about it, the better off you are. You know, that's what they want. They want clean, fresh minds when investigating things. So that's pretty cool. So I you know,
well, no,
I didn't feel bad.
That because
yeah.
if you're, you know, the facts tell the story. So if you're investigating, but see, now if you're able to put things aside, that's your job. That's like the FBI was supposed to be doing their job and putting their emotion aside and their political party aside. And so even though I believe in, you know, spiritualism or I believe in ghosts, when I go out to investigate something, I'm an investigator. I'm not there trying to prove that that's a ghost. I'm not there to prove it's an alien. Anybody who has ever been on my site in the last, you know, how long have we been there? Since 2012. Okay, I've had the Ancient Aliens Worldwide. The reason we have 91,000 members in that group is because we are honest and we debunk more. In fact, I even said this on my show the other night. But if you guys didn't get to see the show, I have, in that time period, I have debunked 99.99% of everything I have seen. I have proven that it wasn't real. However, I still thoroughly believe that UFOs exist. I believe aliens are here. I believe that there's at least 5 races that made up the human race. I believe that you know, we were created by aliens, not by a god. That God was an alien. God is an alien anyways. Yeah, it's not from here. So I believe that. So it's not like I'm trying to debunk everything. It's just that I have a background in video and in photography as far as debunking because I used to authenticate things. I worked for a large frame company, and I used to authenticate artwork. And I had to authenticate videos. So my job was, for 5 years, to look at photos, pictures, to see if anything was photoshopped, faked, and I know how to do all that. So if you give me a picture and say, is this real? I'll say, hang on, let me look at it. And I will copy that picture, and I will blow it up on my screen, and I will look at it, and I can tell you if something's been overlaid on it by just looking at it with my eyes. I'm not even trying to look at the computer programming, okay?
Right. Awesome.
And unfortunately, most of what I've seen has been something that I've deemed completely, you know, made up, but not everything. And there are things that have happened that I know happened. I've read research. I've listened to people being regressed, you know, in hypnotism. I've watched those studies. I've seen that stuff. I understand what's going on. I believe I've been abducted. I believe that I was abducted when I was a child. I believe I'm still being abducted. Well, I can't prove it, though, because I've never filmed it.
You remember the show you did way back? It's going to be almost a year ago, Leo, with Bill Carson.
Yeah, I just actually interviewed him not too long ago on Blogtalk Radio. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Okay. I did him. Yeah. I was for Portal to Ascension. I interviewed him for Portal to Ascension Blogtalk Radio about 2 months ago.
Cool.
Right after I got out of the hospital, so it had to have been March or April that I interviewed him. But yeah, I interviewed him also, and that was about a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Right. Well, here's the thing. When I first
you did Billy Carson with me there last April, just before Michael Palin.
Right. I was hosting your show, wasn't I, Omar?
Yes, it was. It was for watchers. Yep. Okay. Well, his story about his abduction, well, not his abduction, but his visitation that he had in his own house when he lived in Florida back in, I think, 1977 or something like that. It's ironic, and I just wanted to say this to you, that his story and my story are almost similar. We got a lot in common as far as that. We both lived in Florida back in that time, and we both had alien encounters in Florida at that time. You know, it's really a crazy thing. You know, so I follow him, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I got a lot with him. Yeah, I got a lot in common. Yeah, it's crazy stuff. It's really cool.
Coming up in, is that October, Omar? Is it October when they're doing that?
Yeah, I think it's October. Irving with Portal to Ascension.
Yep. Wow. So if you guys are anywhere near Irvine, California, your plans to be, or you can be, you might want to look at portaltoascension.org and click on the link there and get some tickets. And I have the stuff linked up on my site as well, and I believe that Omar does too.
Right.
Links to that show. They're going to have a big, giant conference.
I just posted the link to Discord in the chat room on Clarence's show.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Called Orion Rising.
Oh, yeah, I see it right there.
The Discord, so you could just go live with that at any time. There should be a text channel and a voice channel.
Yeah, that's a gaming platform, that is. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But a lot of people are getting hip to it and using them for LNN, Late Night at Midlands is broadcasting from it now.
Okay.
Their official chat room is Discord.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And you could make all kinds of permissions. I don't know. I don't know, who you want to be on the panel can talk. Otherwise, nobody else can. I don't really go into that detail with it.
Oh, cool.
I never really had anybody that picked it up.
Yeah.
But,
well, I was going to tell you, I was using Zoom, and I was going to tell you guys what happened. I told Omar about it. It really pissed me off, but I like Zoom and everything for the webinars and all that stuff, and, you could share your stuff and blah, blah, blah. What happened was I got an email from them a few days ago, and they told me in the email that they had to up my rate because Minnesota was charging sales tax for me to have them as a site. Can you believe that? Yeah. Yeah. Minnesota was charging sales tax. That's what their excuse was for upping my rate. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. So I wound up, I wound up backing out of Zoom.
Lightstream is the same.
Is it really?
Lightstream is identical to Zoom. Yeah, and free.
Okay. Well, cool. I'll check that out then.
And free. Lightstream. I tested it the other day, and it's pretty good. Same features as Zoom.
Cool.
The only thing that it doesn't do is email.
Right.
Send you reminders and such, right? But,
oh, that's fine. Yeah.
If you're using your own email list, then there shouldn't be a problem.
Right. Absolutely.
So I think I'm going to do that. Cut down on costs, because up in Canada it costs me $70.
Wow. Well, see, I was paying $54, and that's with the with the webinar thing and however many guests you can have, blah blah blah. I forget what that block is now, but I was paying $54, and they wanted to jump it up to $60. But their excuse was because Minnesota was charging sales tax. I'm like, well, if that's the case, then how come I'm not being charged for Blog Talk Radio or the rest of them that I belong to? Well, I don't know the answer for that. I go, well, here's my answer. It ain't gonna happen. So, but they did refund me.
Yeah, I just started using Zoom, and I think it cost me $55 a month, and that's without monetizing it. If I want to monetize it through PayPal, I have to pay another $25 a month.
Wow.
Now I've only paid for 1 month, and I can stop at any time. So I'm listening to you guys, all you guys talking about the ins and outs of it. I like it, but it's not. There's more options. I mean, there's really good options there, but like when you're on XSplit, they have a bunch of apps you can download, and when you're on OBS or is that OBS? Is that right? Yeah. That is actually really good because you can set everything up ahead of time: slideshows, pictures, whatever you want to do. So I don't know. I haven't figured out whether I'm going to stay with the webinar package yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cancel my subscription and go with Lightstream.
Lightstream?
See, I haven't.
Like I
does
said,
that work for Apple?
I'm
it's free.
Yeah, and it's totally free, and it's identical to Zoom.
Yeah.
Like, I mean identical, bro. In fact,
is it really? Hold on, I'm going to write this down, and I'm going to take a look.
XSplit
Cool.
And OBS. I'll send you a link.
Send me a link, bro, please. Because if it's like that, dude, and I can get it on my Mac, I'll cancel Zoom.
Right.
I need to cut back on calls.
Do we have a troll? Do we have a troll in our live feed, or is that somebody playing around?
I encourage people to click ads when you go to blogs like mine, because that helps bring in some funding, and that goes towards streaming and getting software and hardware to
just for you guys that are out there, listen to what Omar's saying.
Bring streams like this, instead of looking at the ad and being irritated by it and annoyed, I say, it doesn't cost you anything. It's a donation, essentially. You click it, and depending on the site, the guy can get paid 5 cents, 1 cent, 10 cents, but, every single cent helps, and that helps pay for the bill so that it doesn't cost the guy any money himself, so that it's, being run by the user. And so far, right now, it's costing me hundreds of dollars a month to And but I'm doing it, no problem. But
right.
I need to cut back on costs. So I encourage people out there that when you go to our blogs, don't be afraid to hit an ad on an article that you're reading before you exit. It's kind of like tossing a guy a coder that's playing the guitar at the subway station. But we're bringing you education.
Yeah. Right.
And, platforms like this for important discussions, and that helps a lot, right? It helps a ton. So please, visit our sites and click our ads, man, because that helps. And the more that you guys interact with the website, and the more you guys click, then the better software we can get. And
that's true.
Better apps to bring you better conversations like this, because we're not in it for the money. It's costing us, in fact.
Nope.
So the only thing we want to do is be at par and still bring forth this type of educational material to help enlighten people and to help wake people up from the sleep that they're in, and help make a difference in their lives and possibly somebody else's life. So,
that's a good point too. I tell people I spend more money. Yeah, I spend more money in this studio than any one person would ever do, or any two people would ever do. You know what I'm saying? With the computers and the microphones and the lights and the whatever, the backgrounds and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, and I don't ask for a dime. You know what I'm saying? It's really funny. And people, and it's funny how people would say that to you. They'll get online, they're like, oh, you're just trying to make a name for yourself and trying to get big, blah, blah, blah. No. I've been doing this too long for all that now. You know what I mean? It's funny. But yeah, every little bit of kickback helps. No, absolutely not.
No, that's true. Exactly right. You're not going to get rich off doing this.
No, but every little bit of help.
Takes a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of study, and like I said, every little bit helps. You come on the site, you see an article that you like, read it before you leave, hit an ad. So what? It takes you to another page for a couple of seconds. You don't like it, exit out.
Yeah.
You helped out the blogger.
Exactly.
A few cents that day.
Yep.
And nothing came out of your pocket.
Damn, nothing comes out of your pocket.
I can just share this, Clarence.
Yes.
Your link is coming up corrupted.
Leonard, I sent you the.
Yes, I got that. Thank you. Just popped up on my screen, brother.
There you go.
It's like XSplit. It's like OBS, but. The bonus thing is that the share screen on it is very nice. So for webinars, we want our guests to be able to share the screen.
Cool.
It has that. You can change scenes and have different slideshows, like you were saying earlier. And it's
free, right?
It's free, yeah.
And if you have an email list,
that's the good show. Good price.
Yeah, and then you can market your own product, and you can.
Cool.
Send your subscribers a reminder a couple days before the show through your email list. I do that a lot.
So it's exactly like Zoom and XSplit or OBS combined, isn't it?
That's right. It's a hybrid of XSplit and OBS, and
nice.
Kind of.
Then I will definitely do that, because I agree with you. Just so you listeners know, it is a cost for us to do this, and it's not free. Some of it is not free. I'm paying money to go live on some of this, but I own some of the programs. I own some of the programs, so does Omar, and so does Clarence. That's why we're able to do this. But we had to put out money for this and for our sites. So we want to bring you guys content. We want to give you guys information, but we either have to get a job to live, or like me, I'm retired, so I'm on Social Security, right? That's not a lot of money. So I have to cut my costs wherever I can, unless I get donations. And if people don't donate, then then like what happened to Dino, he had to go off the air for 8 months.
Right.
Okay, Paranormal Into the Night was off the air for 8 months. He just got himself back on the air.
Yep. Yep. And he's on Blog Talk Radio, right? Yeah.
He's on Blog Talk Radio, but I don't think he's doing Blog Talk Radio anymore. I think the cost was too much for him. So he's showing. I know he's using OBS because we just talked today. I talked to him personally on the phone. So he's using that now and going live on Facebook and YouTube.
Cool.
I'm in Canada, and just this one software, Zoom, is costing me $70 per month.
Wow.
Brother, that's a lot.
And that's not including the hosting for my website and
right.
And data and what have you. So,
yeah, that's just one platform, right?
So,
yeah.
It doesn't hurt for people to leave a donation. You don't actually have to leave a physical donation like money by hitting PayPal. You can do that too if you want, but I suggest not.
John Rogers is in the chat. I just wanted to tell you, John Rogers in the chat.
Oh, cool.
Said hashtag Space Force, hashtag false flag. I agree with you, John. We talked about that earlier. I'm sorry, guys, because we're all hanging out here in this crowd. It's diminishing because we're talking between ourselves instead of talking about our topic. So, getting back on part of the topic we were talking on, guys.
Yeah.
You're right. I believe that the whole thing with the Space Force, we already have that. If you weren't here when I talked about that earlier, and I'm going to try and find that because I was on a show that I had, or somebody had talked to me and showed me it, and there was a designation that we already have military that is designated off-world soldiers. So the Space Force that Donald Trump's trying to put together, if they say, yeah, we'll do it, then they're just going to add everybody that's already on the list so that there's transparency in case somebody else finds it. So that whole thing, you're right, is a false flag. But that entire idea is a false flag because we want to have a Space Force because the big bad aliens are going to come and get us, and we need to be able to defend ourselves. And that is the false flag. That's the narrative they've been feeding the population of at least the United States since the 40s and the 30s with the movies of aliens are bad, they're all evil, and they want to either eat us, enslave us,
right.
or what. And some of the stuff, like even, I loved Stargate and the movie Stargate SG-1, but the narrative of that was the aliens had enslaved us, they're trying to do it again, and they're bad. Okay, but that whole concept of them coming down and being the gods of Egypt is real. We know that now. The Stargate might have been real itself. Okay?
Absolutely.
But that whole concept of aliens being here and possibly being our rulers is very, very possible. But then again, they weren't exactly bad guys, or they would have tried to kill us off. But then again, Omar and I talk about this. Maybe they did with the deluge. Maybe that, in fact, was aliens saying those guys need to go and trying to kill us off. We don't know.
Right.
But we need to find out. We need to find out.
I think Mars. I think that the last flood and Mars is connected.
Yep.
Mars hasn't been dead for as long as our brilliant scientists tell us.
Right.
Mars, it's just gone inactive just a few thousand years ago. If there was a nuclear war here on Earth, Earth would look just like Mars.
Absolutely.
For the next several thousand years.
Yep, with the same atmosphere.
And that's what Mars is going through. There's a lot of radiation, on Mars that's, connected to nuclear weapons. So, there's a lot going on with Mars that the authorities don't want us to know. But, there's a lot of researchers that research Mars. Like, I just published an article 2 days ago that there was a UFO crash and it's embedded in the side of a mountain on Mars. And when you zoom in on those images, it looks identical to a flying saucer, a circular UFO that's embedded. You can actually see the skid mark of where it landed, and then it skidded for several thousand yards and came to a rest, and it's embedded. You can check that out at watcherstalk.com.
Cool.
Well, here, you know what? Here's something too. Well, if you guys, you Clarence, you were there, and I think Omar, I don't know if you guys were there for the whole show on Friday, but when I talked to Stephen Hutchins, he said this, and he said they're playing a game with us, talking about the powers that be, the government of the United States, or any other government. They're playing a game with us because when we say we report, look, we saw a UFO, this is an unidentified flying object. They look into it and they say, well, we're pretty certain that is just not a unidentified flying object. And he said that's because to them it's not unidentified.
Right.
They know who owns it.
They know who it is. Yeah, absolutely.
Identified flying object.
Exactly.
And that's what he said. It was an ISO, not a UFO. But they won't say that. They'll just say that's not an unidentified flying object because they know who owns that flying object.
Right.
They know who's flying it.
They'll have to answer questions. They'll have to answer questions if they leave it.
Yeah.
If they change it to an IFO, then they'll have to explain themselves. But as long as they keep it to a UFO and keep it at a conspiracy theory level, and you're a cuckoo believing in that stuff, then they won't have to answer any of the tough questions that the public wants to know.
Right. Right.
Here's a question from Lee Stacy in the audience says, does anyone know what other countries are going to space? Many. China's in space. Japan's in space. Yeah. England's
China.
in space. Germany's in space.
Russia.
Russia's in space. America's in space. Canada's in space. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
The G8, everybody is in space.
And here's the thing about that. Here's the thing about that. A lot of those.
And all nations are in
Yeah, a lot of these astronauts too. Don't get me wrong on this. It may not be Japan flying their own rockets and stuff like that, but they'll send their people here and fly with us, and vice versa. I mean, that's how this works.
Too. Well, the Japanese, they actually just went up themselves,
right?
And just came back themselves.
Yep.
Okay, but you're right. Sometimes we have that where we work together. The Russians send cosmonauts over here, and we send our astronauts over there, and then we go up in their ship, and that's just a matter of convenience, I believe, because they're starting to work together. So I agree with that. And the Chinese did that. They had a guy that was with the,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a public front. The satellite launches and these refurbish or rebuild or whatever they're doing on the International Space Station.
Right.
These Soyuz rockets or rockets that they're what's his name, Elon Musk.
Right.
All these rockets that they're using. This is a front because we already have a very advanced space program and a deep,
absolutely,
a civilization out in space. So whatever that you're seeing, this is just a show for you. And every few decades, they release a little bit of technology saying, hey, look what we discovered. Meanwhile, they've been sitting on this shit for the last 50, 60 years.
Right.
So
and here's a perfect example.
On TV.
Right.
NASA,
here's a perfect example.
They're NASA. Never a straight answer.
Right, exactly. Here's a perfect example, guys. If you guys haven't heard any of my shows or Omar shows, two things. One, when I was hosting for Omar on Watch the Talk, we had scheduled a whistleblower who said that they were going to come on, that they were, in fact, a super soldier, but at the last minute they got scared and never came on, and we couldn't get them on, okay? And Omar can attest to that. Two, Bob Lazar.
Yes.
If you guys don't know who Bob Lazar is, Bob Lazar back in the 80s claimed that he was working for the federal government at Groom Lake and he knew all the stuff that was going on with aliens and UFOs. The reason he got in trouble was that he told his friends, I'll guarantee you that on a Tuesday night at 9 p.m., we can go up on this mountain and an alien UFO is going to fly over because they do every Tuesday, right?
Yep, Peekaboo Peak. Yep.
So he did that and he got caught and they fired him and they erased his record. So he went live on television and said, I really was there, and let me tell you, here's my proof. He said, we have gotten a new particle on the periodic table of elements. We got it from the aliens, and it's called Pentium. Okay, they claimed he was a lunatic, a liar, a crazed maniac, and that he was full of himself, and he was just... So the guy still tried forever to, and he still does.
Yep.
He still, he said, look, I'm telling you, but guess what happened in 2015? The scientists came out and said, guess what? We just discovered a new particle on the periodic table of elements.
Element 215. Yeah, element 215.
Yeah, that's right.
Not only that, in investigating Bob Lazar, they came up with a lot of evidence and pay stubs for people that are being paid off-world. Off-world.
That was the one. Is that where that came from? They were getting paid off. That was the one. Omar. That was the one.
Yeah, that's the one where they uncovered information. They were looking to see whether he had any financial records linking back to the CIA, and they didn't find anything on him. They just found a few things that were linking back to the CIA and the FBI and Area 51. But during the course of that investigation, they discovered that there was a lot of people that were being paid that were labeled off-world.
Now, do you know? Do you have any of those documents or access to those documents so that I can forward those? Because I need to get those. Can you send those to Stephen Hudges, the guy from MUFON? I told him that I thought it was you, and I said I think Omar had them because he showed them to me. He said I would love to look at those. So if you have those, can you go to his Facebook thing and message him? Send him a link.
I'll email that to you, and then you can just.
Okay, and then I'll just forward your email. Yep.
Right.
Please do. Email it to me, and I'll forward that to him. I said I thought it was you, but you were gone off the show by that time. And I said, I think it's Omar. Omar, if you're in the audience, let me know. We need an answer. I'm sure that's what happened because we ran long.
Yeah.
That was the 4-hour show, right? The other night.
Yeah. We went long, man. We went on 4 hours, dude.
Yeah, it was a good talk.
That was crazy. At one point, we were just hanging out like we were doing here for a while. We were just hanging out, but the viewers kept going. We had 1,500 viewers live, so that was rocking.
That's awesome.
And that's what you'll probably have here on this one because you're averaging to we're up to 24 at a time, and how many people are pushing play that are behind us, and how many people are coming back to watch it.
Right.
So this is going to be a lot of people here. So I want to get that to him, and what we'll do is maybe I'll have Travis Smith put that up on when we do our show tonight, if I can get that soon enough, and if not, I'll do it on another show, because that's very telling, right? Designated off-world employees.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
He's not the only one that this type of information's come out. I think Snowden talked about the same thing.
You know,
there's him
for
off-world.
There's another guy too there that hangs out with what the hell's his name? The blonde-haired guy there. Goody. Goody. What the hell's his name? But anyway, he claims to have been abducted and taken to one of these military places, you know, and blah blah blah, and then brought back. And I think his name is Goody. I'm trying to remember.
Corey Good.
Corey Good.
Talking about Corey Good.
It's spelled with an E.
Yeah, he hangs out with Wilcox all the time. Yeah, he hangs out.
That's right. That's his partner, sidekick, or
yeah.
You know, their investigator buddies. Yeah, him. Actually, I had an individual on. I'll call her Eliana, the space traveler. She was part of the secret space program, and you can actually find this show on my YouTube channel. And she talks a lot about on her involvement and bases on the moon, on moons here in our solar system, and the presence that humans have on Mars, on the moon, and ET involvement with our government, here on Earth, but not only on Earth, but in the solar community.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well,
all right, guys. Hey, listen. It's 6 p.m. my time over here. I have to cook dinner for my mother.
Yep.
Make sure she has food while I'm on the air, because I am her caregiver.
Cool.
So I'm going to have to get off here to run and cook. So would you guys have a good rest of your show? And anybody who's in this audience, if you want to come on and listen to Travis Smith talk tonight, check out Orion Rising, the page, Orion Rising Worldwide, the group tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And Omar, if you could maybe give a link in the chat here for me.
Yeah, we'll post that in our...
If you guys want to come and listen to the show, he's going to be talking about basically what we're talking about, all the stuff that's going on up in space that the government's hiding from us, that a lot of people don't know about. He's got pictures, he's got slideshows, he's got some video. So
cool.
We'll be on at 8 p.m. our time, 8 p.m. Pacific time. So I got to go right now. I got to cook dinner, make sure I eat before that. I'll be back on the air. Orion Rising will be on the air. You guys have a great rest of your show. Clarence, thank you for inviting me on.
Oh, you're very welcome.
As always, it's a pleasure to talk to you and hang out with you and all the rest of you guys out there, okay? Thanks,
cool.
And I will talk to you guys later.
Cool. Okay, well, we only got 2 minutes left on this show anyway, so we're okay. So it's a good time to say goodnight to everybody. But, yeah.
Thanks for having me on, Clarence. Much appreciated. It's always fun talking with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just ironic how it... It's ironic how it worked out tonight, you know, with things going on. And people saw it live, so you can't lie about it, you know. That's pretty cool. So,
yeah, exactly.
But what we will do...
Delete your video, Clarence, like they did last time.
Yeah, no, that ain't going to happen.
Video.
Right, yes, they did. Yeah, absolutely. Once we did the live feed and we shut it off, they took the damn video right away from me. Couldn't find it. Yep. Ironic. Wow. But what I will do, for those that want to watch the Orion Rising with Leonard O'Neill tonight, because I'm going to be there, I'm sure Omar will probably be there and whatever, I will post that on the Closer Encounters page when he goes live. I will share it, and I will also share it in the Ancient Alien Theory group and a couple other places, so you guys can just click on it and come on in and, you know, join him. And you'll get to match the face with the voice. So there you go. But
cool.
Great guy. We got about...
Not a bad looking dude either.
No, that's right. Yeah, and he just cut all his hair off. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, no way. Yeah, kind of funny. So anyway, we got about 30 seconds. So I'm going to say goodnight to everybody for the time being. Right. And I will see everybody back on Facebook here in just a few. And I thank you all for joining us tonight on Facebook. It's been a great show. And for everybody that joined us here on Blog Talk, Tim and Daryl and Omar and Johnny and Leo and everybody, thank you so much for being with us. And we're going to see what goes on here. So we're going to change platforms once again, and we'll be back. So thank you, everybody, and have a good night. And like I said, I will post that other thing up for you so we can keep going. So,
all
right. All righty.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Oh, was it? Oh, well.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yes, it was.
What a crowd.
I know it was.
More friends.
Yep. Awesome.
Awesome.
All
I
right.
posted the link for the Discord channel, and it's called now Orion Rising.
Cool.
I've already changed it from Closer Encounters.
Okay. Cool. That'll work.
The Independent Research Society, from Spaced Out Radio.
Yeah, there you go.
National Paranormal.
Awesome.
Now it's Orion Rising. So I hope somebody uses it.
That'll work. All righty.
Right on, dear.
Okay.
And, I'm going to save this to save for archives for my friends to listen to it. I try to invite like a lot of people. I will for the next show.
Cool.
I hope you get a big turnout.
Yeah, no
That was
kidding.
great. Thanks for having me, Clarence.
Oh,
It's been a while since
Yeah, absolutely. Glad you could join us. Unfortunately, it happens the way it does, but, it is. Okay, well, we got to roll.
Wild. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to have a bad storm now.
Yeah.
We just got a warning. Strong thunderstorms.
Oh.
We've had crazy storms. Have you had some crazy storms?
Well, yeah, it's just with everything going on in the world, I think, and probably the chemtrails have a lot to do with it.
Really scary, though.
Yeah.
We had one recently. I mean, the sound of the thunder was so horrible. Actually, there was 3 explosions yesterday.
Wow.
No storm, though, but really bad explosions. And the lightning and thunder are like gutting buildings.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, a whole building will catch fire, and everyone has to evacuate, and it is gone,
That's crazy.
Like really bad fires. Serious. I think it's, this weather modification is deadly. You can't even survive a high-rise in a storm, you know?
Yep. Cool.
Where are you going to go,
Yeah, exactly.
I want a bunker, man. I'm telling you. Do you have a bunker yet?
No, not yet, but I'm going to work on one, I think.
I want to go online and find a man with a big bunker. A little dick and a big bunker.
Yeah, there you
go.
Cool. That'll work.
The bigger your bunker, the smaller your penis.
There you go. You're right. That's funny. Alrighty,
like
dear.
The difference between a porcupine and a guy driving in a Porsche, right?
What's that?
Well, on the porcupine, the prick is on the outside.
Ah, gotcha. That's
you
funny.
That.
Oh, shit. Good one. Okay. Well, we're going to have to roll.
Who is still online now?
Nobody. The show's going to end here, so we're all booting off.
We're okay. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For having me.
You're very welcome. Yeah. If you stay on Facebook, like I said, I'll post Leonard's show when he gets his up and running.
Yeah, definitely gonna be watching that. I want to see those videos.
Yeah, absolutely. So.
And I'm still in the middle of writing to Linda. I missed her show. Did I tell you?
Yeah, that's sad.
Oh man, I could kick myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I paid for it and everything, and my mother called me up, and I had some bad news that day with my health, and I just was in a cloud, And by the time I realized it was that night, I was already in Queens, and the show had started in Manhattan.
Right.
No way, unless I could teleport there, That was the only way I would have made it,
That's so sad.
I would have needed alien intervention. There was just no way I could have made it.
Wow.
Where are the aliens when you really need them,
Exactly, yeah.
I needed some alien technology to make that show. Oh, was I disappointed in myself?
People asking...
I have no social life. I never go anywhere. I don't do nothing. And the one time I could have done something awesome,
Right.
Oh, I was so mad at myself.
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to do? My mother needed me. My mother's 97, so...
Wow.
She's depressed. Yeah, huh?
Awesome.
I should live so long. I don't think I'm going to live that long.
I know I'm not.
The gay ones can live that long.
Yeah.
So.
Alrighty, dear. Well, we got to roll because they're timing us out here. So, yeah, they're
Go ahead.
Okay,
great seeing you. Great talking to your friends, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Absolutely. Bye-bye, on. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, folks. Yeah, the next stream, I'm hoping to have it, let's see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, most likely Thursday evening. So it's tentative, but that's what I'm going to shoot for, Thursday evening. If this kind of stuff keeps going on, who knows? Maybe I'll try something different. We'll see what's going on here. But that'll give me time to see what the hell happened here or whatever. So, in the meantime, thank you all for being here, like I said, and have a great evening. And we're going to post that other one up as soon as he gets on. So.
You all for listening to Closer Encounters. Please remember to like, follow, and share. And until we meet again, keep your eyes to the skies. Thank you.
Peace out, people. Thank you.